Okay, we are go, mate. Good times, ready to go. Um, oh no, I've lost you. Like as soon as I hit record, what's going on? Fucking hell. Oh wow, I literally lost. Yeah, there you go. I lost you as soon as I hit
Sorry,
record.
I accidentally unplugged my
Oh, for
thing and it
fuck,
came out for a second.
Jesus Christ.
I'll move it away.
Yeah. Well, this is why we don't do our podcasts for a month there, and yeah, we're a bit rusty. So, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Interesting start to festivities there. Yeah, Todd's has got his dinosaur shirt on, and it's a fresh new pod, mate. We never miss an episode. How have you been?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, mate. Just been exploring the world. Seen all the sights of Sydney. And honestly, not been paying a ton of attention to fantasy football or NRL in general. Yeah, just the past week, have kind of I was paying more attention on the weekend, and we're just talking before and watched a ton more games than I had. But yeah, what about yourself, mate? Am I the only one who's like fallen off the footy a bit, or?
No, I mean yes. um, I've been on holidays actually 2 weeks,
Oh, there you go,
so I've been
Milton.
cracking on. I've got a piece of bit of journalism work coming out in the next couple of days.
Wow, there you go.
So keep an eye out for that.
Just
You
like
heard it
the
here first.
just like the old days, eh? All right. Well, let's crack into it. Hey, it's round 15. It's been 16 rounds since we did our last podcast, and so we'll have a look at the matchups. First up, Cole Newman versus Jesse. 421 plays 448. Now, there was a meme a while back that wanted to. It was Chris Sneddon. He wanted the pod back because he wanted to know who needed to lift. And to be honest, first of all, I'll nominate ourselves for We Need to Lift, our
Yeah.
pod game. I'll probably take most of the responsibility for that. So yeah, let's have a look at these sides. And Kyle Newman, he seems to have slipped down the ranks somewhat. He's had a bit of a bad run this last month. So I'll nominate him as needing to lift. But yeah, have a look at his scores. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so I believe this was his third loss in a row. I could be wrong, but yeah, some decent scores, I guess, for Feeder. What? Am I wrong?
I got carried away with my water.
Some funny water.
Oh, oof. Oh, they say every hole's a goal, but it's not true, mate.
Was it just funny when I said you had some decent scores, or?
No, I went over exuberant. I was like, oh, Todd's is talking. I'll just quickly scull some water. Oh, shit. This is a disaster. You've pulled the plug on yourself 10 seconds in. I fucking tried to kill myself. Yeah, wow.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, anyway, as you were saying, go ahead. I'm just going to drink my water slowly.
Jerry Marshall King, 65 for Feeder, 65. Peachy was pretty good, actually. He got 51 points in the first half of that game. He scored 2 points.
Really? Wow.
No, that was an exaggeration, but that's how bad the Titans were. So.
Oh man, it was a wild game. Should we just talk about that game in general? Because I mean, I watched all of that one. Yeah, crazy. I think like similar for Fafita. You know, I kind of paid attention to his Supercoach scores, and yeah, he was just not going anywhere. And it was because Manly were just had all the ball attacking and scoring tries. That was
unbelievable.
a crazy game. So good good game to own backs from Manly, I must say.
Yeah.
But more on that later.
Cherry Evans, though. Cherry Evans, 53. I thought he would have scored more than that. But
Yeah.
I guess it was just a turbo show, really.
Yeah, he did bag a try. I mean, he probably didn't have to make a ton of big kick meters because they were just constantly.
Every time you looked at them, they were attacking the line.
Yeah, they weren't kicking the ball on the fifth because they were scoring by the time it got there. So, yeah, Marshall King, pretty good score from him, 65. Yeah, I mean, not good enough though. Pompey, Ponga. He's definitely missing Ponga there. So you'd think he probably would have got the W there if he had Ponga there for him. But very injury prone. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I spoke to Kyle about Pompey. It was very last minute. He had Tex Hoy, who was dropped late, so he had no choice there.
Sure.
Because the Knights moved Kurt Mann to fullback, so
wow.
Very late. So he had no options. Pompey was the best option available, I believe.
Yeah, slim pickings, hey? Oh, well. Hopefully Pong will be back soon. I don't know what the timeline's there, but he's been out for a while. Jesse's side, 448. So he still remains in the top four. Fielding, Sean Johnson. You guys did a little trade. That was before last round, yeah?
No, it was before this round. It was Thursday night.
Okay. So I want to say he got the better of that deal so far, but I mean...
Not really, because Hughes scored 82.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're not
and Ramian
losing anything.
Sorry. No, Ramian scored more than Manu, so we both sort of won out, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. So just looking at his side, it did end up with De Ballin. I mean, fitting with his team name and the fact that Jesse's probably been to court a few times. Coruscant 24, not so great. Capewell 37, also not so great. His backs just absolutely carried him, other than Papali'i. Jack Bird's been real good at centre, so he's been playing in the back row, yeah?
Yeah, revelation.
Yep. And I mean Hines, he's still doing it, and doesn't matter because as soon as he goes, Pappenhausen's back in. How's he not playing Munster though? Like, that's interesting that he picked up Johnson. I didn't even realize who he had. When did that happen?
For me,
did he always have Munster?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I thought he was playing Jack Whiten.
Yeah, I know.
Jack Whiten.
Yeah. Is there a trade that's going on here that we don't know about?
I don't know, but my screen just changed.
Yeah.
As we're speaking.
Let's consult.
I don't know what's going on, but he just had either just made changes or I don't know.
I'm going to message him right now. When did you get Munster?
That's how we get things done on the pod.
What was that?
We don't research it. We don't research. We just ask.
No, it was live on air. You are live on the pod. Oh, a waiver. He wavered Munster. What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
I will say this: Munster's been very poor the last couple of weeks, and he's been injured.
Yeah. Jesse said, "Hello, lovely people." That's crazy. So that must have been who would drop fucking Munster? Jesus, somebody must have got desperate during the bye round, hey?
So it was Snedden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought Chris had Munster.
Well, we'll look at Chris's side when we get to it. Put Jesse away. So he's dropped Whiten for Munster. I mean, can't complain about that pickup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty handy. All in all, good good stuff. Few average scores, quieter scores, but did the business. All right. Anyway, moving right along. Team that's been doing the business lately, Austin. It says he's in 8th spot, but I was having a look at the ladder before, and Kyle's on more points than him, but he's one spot below. So, yeah. Jesse's excited there's going to be a new pod. Yeah, fucking let us record it, dickhead. Stop messaging me. He won't
He's got so much time now.
I know. As I said to him, I was talking about. I'm like, I remember when Marty first had his son. He had he seemed to be more into the footy than ever. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Austin. He's been on a pretty good run. I know he got me during the bye round. I honestly don't know if he's been on a good run. All I know is that he's on the verge of the top 8, regardless of whether the fact that they've put him in here. 80 from Hunt. He was on fire. Made up for last week's absolute shitness. Yeah, what else? Howard and Nora, he's been great. Sean Lane, that's a good score from him.
Actually.
Of course he did, mate. And Gutho
on the bench now.
55. Yeah, I know. It's an interesting rotation with the old para. Who's what's his name? Bloody Madison. You know, he's not getting enough minutes at the moment. I'm sure we'll get to him soon. But yeah, Opachik 13, not great. Laurie 25, yeah, not great as well. But I mean, that Tigers side was an absolute shambles. So.
Pathetic. I'll tell you what, he's got a very good bench at the moment.
Yeah, I know. They scored quite well. Vaughan had a really good game. He set up a try. Norman, great backup. I mean, he's got some options with his halves. He could play either of the Dragons, and he's got Fogarty there. So Fogarty was probably looking like a good play until that second half. Yeah, moving on to Jared's side. Speaking of his bench, he's got Cook there. So Cook's fallen from grace so badly that he doesn't even want to play him.
Wow. Jesus, that's a big call.
Yeah. Well, it didn't really matter.
Didn't.
But yeah, I wouldn't be doing that again. So you got Cook, you got to play him really. So I figured
he's
Fitzgibbon.
He's back 3.
Yeah, that two of us are Shaq, man. It was kind of like as soon as he traded him away, that Walsh came over. Yeah, how are all these bloody Broncos fans feeling that they got rid of Walsh and then 7 weeks later he's playing Origin? Fucking bastard.
That's the first time in history there's no Broncos player in the Queensland side.
Really? Wow. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What a fall from grace.
I know.
I know. Well,
watch them roll the Sharkies next week.
Yeah, man, fucking wreck them. I'll put the C on Sean Johnson in Supercoach. Why not, eh? Yeah. So Crichton 24, Walker 60. So he's definitely not playing Luai. Luai's been so bad the last month or so, except for Origin.
Ever since we blew him up and told him that he should play Luai.
Yeah. Well, he was doing his part, but now it's just a bloody Cleary show. You know, it's crazy. He
scored 100 on the weekend. Eh?
Yeah, I'm not even surprised. You know, I just expect it at this point. It's crazy.
Ikavalu went from 100 to 21.
Yeah, that can't fucking wrecked me last week. I mean, let's talk about last week because Jared ended up getting the bickies on me. I'll just quickly bring it up. But yeah, fucking 100 points from Ikavalu. And I had fucking Dufty 13. I'm just like, are you fucking serious? And of course, I didn't play Garrick, who scored 86. So, right. Yeah, I fucking stitched myself up there. But I was like, Ikavalu just kept scoring tries. I'm like, you can get fucked, mate. Obviously, this week, it's back to reality.
Yeah.
So, yeah. not good enough. Needs a few more points there. Still only 8, but yeah, he's got. It's very, very congested and highly sought after positions. Those final 3 or 4 spots in the 8. So
I think that these 2 scores are pretty bad. So I think Austin's pretty lucky.
Yeah.
To win with 408. So
it's been a few like that the last month or so where I looked at him and I'm like, I think Chris last week. Just bring it up. What did he score? He got a win with 368. Yes. Yeah.
Was that a bye week though?
No.
Oh.
He was just playing Rat.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, is that? Yeah. No, it was. It was the bye week. Yeah, you beat him last week. Fucking by nearly like 200 points. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'm just all
Well, it
over
was
it.
only a couple of days ago, but anyway.
Fucking, I can't. I'm lost. Hold on. Where are we? 16. Yeah. No. So it wasn't a bye round. It was just a normal round. So, anyway, moving on to next matchup. Kirsty, second win of the year, I think. 441 against Rhett, 432. So yeah, who's got a lift? I know that Mitch Moses lifted 87 points. That's one of his better scores this year.
Interesting enough, it was Mitch Moses versus Dylan Brown.
Yep.
In this one.
Yep. That was the difference maker.
I think Harry Grant not being able to finish the match probably cost Rhett.
And now he's not going to be playing again. You know, he has been a very bad draft pick for Rhett. Hasn't done him any good, and Haas has not been great either. I think it's just one of those things where the game has changed a bit, and yeah, suddenly you want like really attacking players. Yeah,
you're right, because it was sort of like you wanted to get like a hooker, your forwards, and then whatever backs you could find you had. I think draft's going to be a little bit different next year.
Well, I mean, you can say, oh, you know, like you want like your backs, like your fullbacks, and like they're just explosive at the moment. But then you've got the likes of Teddy, who went first for Marcel, and he's had his worst season by far. I mean, the Roosters are pretty injury affected too, but
yeah, think about his scores before Kiri got injured, though.
Yeah,
he was scoring very well before that.
Yeah, he was going all right. Yeah, but yeah, there are certain players that are just killing it, and Haas is, I mean, 58 isn't bad, but yeah, I mean, he's picked up Tolman, who's scored 54, so yeah. All right.
That's pretty solid, though.
He's got, look at this. He's Mr. Consistent here. He's got bloody a 50, a 58, 54, 54, 54. So, yeah. Not good enough, though.
A loss, yeah.
Few points shy. I think that all but ruins Rhett's hope of making the top 8. And gives Kirsty a bit of respect there. So, yeah.
Pete Diggins' son.
Yeah, I think she's got a few distractions.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our absolute blockbuster matchup. It's always a pleasure to defeat Martin Hill. So yeah, speaking of guys who are struggling to make the 8, Paul Marty down in 10th spot, got dusted up there, 521, 449. So 449, decent score, but another 500 from yours truly. At some point, I think I'll go through and just kind of calculate the 500s, because that's definitely like my 6th, I think, or 6th or 7th. You know, like it's getting ridiculous. You've got a pretty good number of 500s to now yourself, my friend. So
I have 4. I might have 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting that we brought back the pod on a week where we both scored 500s.
No one got too close.
Yeah, just all right. Time to talk about these big scores, boys. And the pod won't return until we both get 500s again.
Next week.
Yeah. All right, mate. I could talk about my side until the cows come home, but what do you see? What stood out for you?
Well, number 2 draft pick Nathan Cleary, 107. Garrick, as we spoke about earlier, 77.
4
Jaden
tries.
Bradley was very poor.
Mind you, I
Yeah,
think
4 tries.
77 of that was in the second half.
Yeah.
It's looking a bit...
And he missed a lot of goals, so he missed some points there. Jaden Bailey, 36. That's well down his average.
Yeah, he hasn't been running as much. I don't know. He started out hot, but he has not been able to keep it going. Thankfully, I've had a few other boys kind of step it up a bit recently. So Tino's had a few weeks with good scores. Minutes are up. Murray, Murray was amazing on kind of Thursday night. Tamalolo, I still expect a bit more. Liam Martin, he lost a lot of points in updates. So that was a bit disappointing.
And he was good too, I thought.
Yeah. I think that was a case of sometimes, fantasy doesn't reflect real life. Doesn't quite come across. But all in all, pretty good. I've got we got Dufty out at the moment. He's injured, but won't be starting him anytime soon. Anyway, the way Mitchell and Garrick are going.
Garrick is just feeding off Turbo at the moment.
Oh yeah, and even then, I can't. In hindsight, the week before I should have played him because he was at fullback, and but he's he's averaged 48.9. He's killing it now. Really good waiver pickup. We should do a pod where we look at the averages and see who's doing what. Little comparison.
Got a couple of things in the works, I suppose.
Yeah. You know what? Just no episodes for weeks, and then we'll just fucking, here you go, boys. Have 1 million episodes. All right. Muddy's losing side. So it starts out pretty good. Thursday night, Lodge, 79. I was like, are you kidding me?
Where does that come from?
Oh, he was just... Well, they had so many head knocks that he just couldn't leave the park, He did play fairly good for him. Hodgson as well, 62. One of his better scores. 65, 63. Yeah, from his Knights boys. He got unlucky with Remus Smith. He went off injured after a try. With probably with close to a half left, I think.
He scored 2 tries, I believe.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so
he would have scored 5, I reckon.
Yeah, he definitely could have gotten it a bit closer. I don't think it would have been enough. Murdoch Masilla, he got sin binned. I think with a couple minutes left. That was lovely, or maybe a couple minutes till half time. And Takiaho, he's not doing it. So, yep, not good enough. All right,
not good enough at all.
Yeah,
Campbell Graham, 76 on the bench.
Oh, he's got to play Campbell Graham, especially this week coming up against the Tigers. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably
Dylan
has
Edwards.
to anyway, because you're going.
Dylan Edwards had the worst start to a game. He made so many mistakes in the first 15 minutes. It cost him a score. He probably would have got 50 if he didn't make those mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I did miss the start, but I'll take your word for it. Very bad.
Thanks,
Very bad, Dylan Edwards. Okay, moving along to our next big shellacking. Wow. Have a bit of points difference, mate. Jesus. Chris is absolutely spewing that this is the week we decided to bring back the pod. 357, 526. It's not pretty. Yeah. I'll have a look at your side here. Tom Trebojevic, 94 points. You're welcome.
I ask you every week if you want him back, mate. You keep saying no.
Yeah, man, I got the Reuben, mate. I'm chowing down on 4 try Reuben sandwiches. So, Tohu Harris 76, Mr. Consistent. Yeah, I had a look at his score. No real attacking stats that I could see.
Nothing. When I at half time, I think he was only on like 30.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's having a rough game, you know. Then I turned it on to the end. It was 76. I was like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, because I traded him in for Supercoach for the buy round, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good score. I'm like, is there a try there? I'm like, there was nothing. So, base stat boost. Yeah, a few kind of okay scores from your mids. Nothing spectacular. Hughes and Turbo absolutely carried you. Mulatalo, that's pretty good too, 51. So you got a few sharkies there, and they should do some big business next week as well.
250s in a row from Mulatalo. He was a good pickup.
Yep, there you go. Some of these wingers, mate, when they're scoring tries. Oof. And yeah, the bench not so hot, but you know, there you go. What's the go with Aikens? He's not playing, yeah.
I don't know.
He's
I'm not sure, but I don't think he wouldn't get a start at the moment anyway.
Yeah, so they've been playing Simonson at fullback, so might be time to clear out some bench space there, my friend.
Oh, I've got plenty. Matty Moylan, what's he doing? Why do they even pick him up? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, mate. Speaking of benches, Thompson should be back soon for Chris, so that'll be a welcome return because he was one of the form players of the comp.
He definitely was.
Yeah. All right, last matchup. So this was a top of the table clash. And sometimes they deliver big, and this one was a bit of a stinker. So Mike 442, he'll be happy with the win. He won't be happy with the score. Someone who definitely won't be happy with his score, Marcel Green, 360, and that's his third week in a row of 300 scores. So it includes the bye week, of course. But yeah, it's not looking good for him. So yeah,
no, it's not.
TPJ, he's going to be suspended. Frizzell's injured. Dewey's injured. So yeah, he's going to be needing a few players there.
He's in a bit of strife, old Mace, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even recognise his side compared to, you know, when I was looking at it at the start of the year. You got Croker in there. Obviously, he's had Mitch Rain. They've both scored horribly this week. Josh Kerr's in his mid. Like, you know, you're saying he's got to fill the spot for TPJ, but what's he doing with Josh Kerr? Like, where have these holes come from, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's half.
Where have his players gone?
Tyson Gamble. He's obviously made some moves during the bye week that we weren't paying attention to. Like, I mean, he could have done with a bloody Munster waiver pickup, that's for sure. Because
where's the Chatty Townsend?
Yeah, Gamble ain't going to score 51 every week. That's right. He had Townsend, and now he can't get a start. So
Thank God.
Yeah, Avarillo, 48. He's been good. Teddy, 53. Okay, but yeah, you need more from Ted. So anyway, enough about that side. Michael, Yo, 69. Crichton, 84. He was big, and Gagai, 84. So the Rabbits and the Sharks have a really good run at the moment. So if you got some Rabbits and Sharks backs in your side, then it could be some decent scores. Yeah, Addo Carr, quite a one, 28. He's known to have those ones. And
he didn't score a try. I don't think he scored a try.
No, they which is interesting because they absolutely put 1 million tries on the Tigers, didn't they? So
yeah.
Oh well. Yep. Few lower scores. Sirinen, Yeah, he's not been relevant all season. I mean, I've had him. I think Marcel's had him. Yeah, he just doesn't get the minutes.
I'm sure he's played off the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, A-Ray 34, also not great. Must have been the what's the other Cody Walker show, I guess. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's the score. He got the chocolates. So, yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at the ladder, shall we? Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so bringing it up. So Mike, he takes first on the ladder. Marcel, Jesse, myself, Chris drops down out of the 4. Jared, yourself, Austin at 8, even though well, it says here he's on 13 points. I don't know. If you have a look on the app,
there was a draw. Kyle was saying that he's in 9th. That's right.
Yeah, if you have a look on the app, I think it says that he's got a win less than Kyle.
Oh yeah.
But on here, it's saying he has equal amount of wins plus the draw. So, yeah, okay. I guess the app's wrong. So there you go. Apologies to Austin. You are only 8 on actual skill, not NRL fantasy hijinks. So yeah, Kamish outside the 8. Oof. Has he ever missed the top 8 before, Tods?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. You'd know all about missing the 8 though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's happened once.
Yep. So Marty, Rhett, and Kirsty. So as discussed before, I think Rhett's a very outside chance. So's Kirsty. She's all but over. Yeah. So it'd be very interesting, this battle. Kyle might suddenly be paying a lot more attention to the footy. Yeah. Looking at the for and against. I've got a nice little 200-point lead on Marcel with the Kurt Gidley points master. So we're looking at 6 time there. So yeah, it's interesting.
I don't think you're gonna get much more competition from Mace, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we're playing each other in the next matchup too, so there's a lot at stake there. But just the way his side's scoring at the moment, yeah, could be curtains on his run for a KGPM. So it's interesting how it plays out. I've scored 600 more points than Mike, and I'm in 4th. He's in 1st. It's just
I've scored more points than Mike.
Yeah. It's it's interesting. You've had a hot run, so you're definitely coming good towards the pointy end. So yeah. Anyway, that's the podcast, mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
So yeah, there's as kind of mentioned before, there's no. Well, I mentioned to you, there's no fantasy this weekend. There's just State of Origin. So yeah, just when I was getting back into the fantasy life, it's over again. So whoopsies.
So I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's 2 months. So yeah, all right, that'll do us. We'll get uploading on that one, and as I always say, adios.